figured I'd take a video. Sorry for looking like a bum. But when you have all your time focused on your family, on bettering your family and making money and making more money and possible ways to make more money, and I'm not just talking about physical labor, I'm not talking about working a fucking 12-hour or 15-hour workday. I'm talking about I'm doing physical labor, and then I am brainstorming other ways to passively make income so I don't have to work anymore. But that's just why I look like a bum. I haven't had time to shave. I'll shave when I get to it. But I just wanted to apologize sincerely for my last post to all the men that are suffering from depression. I was more referring to how I'm raising my children, because I have luckily been blessed to have an amazing mother and father where I don't care what other people think. I've never suffered from depression. I was born with a speech impediment, pretty much deaf. Had a speech impediment until 5th grade. I didn't sit there, I got picked on, but I didn't let it bother me because I knew I was able to overcome it. I had to go to the hospital every Wednesday. I had to go to speech classes for fucking years. But I overcame it, and now I still slip up, but you wouldn't know that I had a speech impediment. Why? Because I worked for a goal. My goal was not to be retarded anymore with the speech impediment, not to be picked on. I worked towards that goal. I accomplished that goal. I set a new goal. I've always done that in my entire life, and it's worked for me. So, for all you depressed men out there that wrote me some hateful messages, one dude even said he was going to beat my ass, which we won't even get into that because that's just ridiculous. Very emotional, but that's what you get when you have depression. You are very emotional. But I also had people write me saying, thanks man, you really motivated me. I know what I have to do now. I feel a lot better. I'm not sad anymore. So you have these people on one side taking accountability for their own actions, for their own feelings, and on the other side you have people saying, well, if you've never dealt with depression and if you've never been depressed, who the fuck are you to tell me how I feel? Well, I don't know. Maybe you should listen to the top philosophers and psychologists in this world instead of masking yourself with serotonin uptake inhibitors. I've done my research. I've dated women in the past that are emotional train wrecks. I've cared for people in the past that have depression and emotionally distressed. You listen to these people that talk about it that have either been through it, which is the number one. If you have someone who's depressed and now they're out there top dogs making millions and billions of dollars, maybe you should listen to them. And the people that have never been depressed are also good to listen to. You can say, hey, why aren't you sad? Why aren't you depressed? Like, you got all this shit going on. You got all this stress. How do you deal with it? How can you take life? How do you own life? Those are people you should also listen to. You should listen to everybody. So let's break down let's say top 3. We'll just go into 3. Top 3 reasons why you may be depressed today. Number 1. The number 1, this is usually for women, but it's for men too, is recognition. You may have been the athlete in high school. You may have been the man that every woman wanted in high school. You may have been the person that would post a status and everybody wanted to hang out with you because they wanted that clout. But now we're in our 30s. High school was fucking 12 years ago. We are old as shit now. You either have a family by now or you don't, and I swear to God, if you don't, I hope you're building a fucking empire and stacking that cash for when you do get your family. Shouldn't be out there partying anymore. I'm sorry, but if you're out there drinking every weekend, which is another thing, alcohol is the number 1 antidepressant. Alcohol is a depressant, no matter how you look at it. Back in traditional times, in the ancient times, they called it spirits because they would say that by drinking too much alcohol lowers your frequency, which allows you to be possessed by spirits. And that's why people do really dumb shit that they normally wouldn't do, because they are possessed by an evil spirit. Not saying I believe that, not saying I don't believe it, but what I am saying is alcohol is the number 1 depressant. Now let's get back to number 1 reason, is recognition. We're on Facebook trying to get all those likes, and you can't tell me when you post a status and you see a bunch of likes, like one of my old friends, I'm gonna call him an old friend because he publicly fucking tried to run my name through the dirt, posted my status about depression, acting all sad, and all these people were like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm here for you, and he didn't acknowledge any of them. He didn't even like their comments and say thank you for being there for me. This guy's clearly just looking for attention, but we're not to get into that. That's beside the point. You got these people that are looking for this recognition. They get these likes and it makes them feel good. Let's not lie. Every like you get, every interaction you get with a human being makes you feel good. But you're doing it in a negative way. Where back in the day, you didn't have to do it in a negative way or an emotional way or stating that you're depressed online as a man to get that recognition, because you were somebody who most likely played sports, you were athletic, you felt good about yourself, you probably worked out, you go to a party on a weekend and all the women wanted you, and it was easy for you to get that affection and attraction from somebody else. And now you're in your 30s, a lot of you guys complaining about depression, you're overweight, you're fucking sad, you're working, which is my number 2 and my number 3 all in one. You're overweight, you're sad, and you're working 40 hours a week. You've maxed yourself out because we weren't taught about money. You have leases on vehicles, which is the dumbest thing you can possibly do, because those payments, that $400 a month that you're leasing a vehicle on, that could be going into metals and commodities, silver and gold, increase in value. You could be going into the stock market. You could be making 3% easily on top of that. You bank it, save it, put it in the stock market, let your money make money for you. It's that fucking easy. But instead, you have all these leases, all these debt. You're living just on the bare minimum. You're working 40 hours a week at a job you may not like. You have a boss telling you you have to go to work. And you're sitting there and you're asking yourself, why am I depressed? Why am I so sad? It's fucking obvious, man. Get your life together. Men, get your life together. Be the fucking leader you need to be in your goddamn families. It's that, dude. Men have to make sacrifices in life, especially when you have a family, and that sacrifice is to be the leader and just shed your emotional responsibilities and to fucking bottle that in, keep it inside, and battle your demons yourself. Yeah, your queen should help you out and should give you guidance, but the rest of the world should not know you're sad and depressed, because they will take advantage of you, and those snakes out there will take advantage of you, and you will never get ahead. You don't see rich, wealthy, happy people hanging out with sad, miserable, broke bums. It's that simple. And like, I get worked up about it because I do care. It's not that I don't care. I'm not selfish thinking that I'm better than everybody because I'm not depressed. No, it's because I do know people that are depressed, and I want them to pull their head out of their asses, because I see the great accomplishments and the great minds that they could be if they truly put their fucking minds to it, and they got off their goddamn video games, and they got off Netflix, and they got off TV, and they got off fucking working 40 hours a week for somebody else, making them rich, and then not having enough energy to do anything Saturday and Sunday, and they don't do stuff around the house. I've been there. I've went through my points where I wasn't depressed, but I was a straight up bum, and I'm surprised my woman stayed with me because of how much of a bum I was at certain points. Not caring about money and just saying, well, you know, I got enough to get by, I got a little bit of my savings, I'm happy, life is good. No, you need to make as much money have friends that are saying like, yeah, so-and-so started another business, probably gonna fail. So-and-so's just bought this, probably can't afford it. So-and-so's doing this, leave them. They will hold you down. Find people that are better for you and what you want in life. So don't be depressed. Try to fight it. And if you're depressed and you are sad, definitely don't drink. Do not do anything that will make you more depressed. All you hippies, stay away from that Molly. It lowers your serotonin. If you take it more than once every 3 months, you're going to be sad. That's how it works. Alcoholics, stay away from that alcohol. Put that bottle down. All that money that you're spending on cigarettes, chewing, for myself, I've noticed this, chewing, alcohol, cigarettes, you could be putting into the side and you could be making money. Have a good day.